I'm not going to lose my career for kicking in a door under these circumstances.
Now at 5, trapped alone for hours, parents saying deputies failed to protect their toddler. New details this evening revealed in body camera footage. Plus,
but then the cities are empowered and have that local authority.
This bill puts our officers and our communities in a 2-year limbo.
the beginning of the end for Unified Police Department. Hear from the cities fighting to stop the governor's stamp of approval. And
Congress has recognized that China is not our dear friend. The Chinese Communist Party, that is not our dear friend.
the power one social media platform gives to China. Senators raise red flags. What a new bill could mean for the future of TickTock.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Good evening, I'm Emily Flores.
And I'm Glenn Mills. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story tonight, we have an update to a story we first brought you last month. A 2-year-old locked inside a West Haven apartment for hours. Parents say they couldn't get responding deputies to help out.
Yes, ABC4's Northern Utah correspondent Kate Garner reporting from Weber County with the latest information the sheriff's office is now sharing.
After our first report, the Weber County Sheriff's Office quickly launched an investigation into the incident and found that the responding deputies didn't take the right steps to resolve the issue. Now, the Sheriff's Office is releasing the body camera footage of those deputies to ABC4 so we can get a better idea of what happened that night.
I'm not going to lose my career for kicking in a door under these circumstances.
A deputy tells Caitlin Burchell while responding to her apartment.
I cannot go breaking your door. I can get my butt sued for that.
Security footage shows Burchell's 2-year-old inside, alone. She says she and her husband stepped outside. The door locked, and then the keypad stopped working. They asked the deputies to help them break the door in.
If your child was in imminent danger, it's a different story.
My son could start choking, like right this minute, and then what are you going to do?
That's where the confusion may lie. In a statement, the Sheriff's Office explains, the Supreme Court has recognized an emergency aid exception to the warrant requirement, which allows law enforcement officers to enter a home without a warrant to render emergency assistance to an injured occupant or to protect an occupant from imminent injury. Before leaving, the officers try to get a hold of Vivint to solve the issue.
They explained to me that there's no reason why it should have changed PIN, so it's probably an error on their side.
After 3 hours, Burchell's husband takes matters in his own hands, climbing up the balcony and breaking a window to get to his son. After reviewing the footage, the Sheriff's Office says, "We are disappointed in the response. As an administration, we have instructed the deputies involved that we would have supported their forced entry into the residence in this incident. All deputies should seek the force option that would create the least amount of damage."
Learning that they didn't agree with it and we're taking action to change how situations like that would be handled. It was just really validating.
When I spoke to Burchell earlier today, she was surprised that the Sheriff's Office released the body camera footage and was anxious to watch it. Reporting from Weber County, Kate Garner, ABC4 News.
All right, thanks so much, Cade. New at 5 tonight, we are getting a first-hand look at police responding to a 2-alarm fire in Sandy. Sandy officers in the area say they saw smoke billowing out of the Liberty Heights apartments early Sunday morning. They sped to the scene, going door to door, evacuating residents. Take a look.
Is there anybody else? Get out. Go. Go. There's a fire. Get out. Go. Go. Guy on the bottom. Get out.
The officer you just heard from was able to go home uninjured. The officer with her went to the hospital after inhaling too much smoke, and you can see why. According to police, a woman lighting what she calls a tree of life started that blaze, throwing alcohol on the flames to, quote, burn away her sadness and pain. There were no serious injuries, thankfully, but some of the apartment units were left unlivable.
And in Utah County, police say a mountain lion spotted roaming in some backyards was safely moved away from home.
Mapleton police posting this picture of the big cat. Ooh. She left quite the paw print in the snow, as you might imagine. This morning, Utah's Division of Wildlife Resources jumping in after spotting the 3-year-old hiding out in some brush in a nearby neighborhood. They tranquilized her before releasing her in another part of the state.
Okay, I already know, Alana. Don't get too close, but she's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's another thing we're seeing happen this year as a result of all this snow. Wildlife just coming down in search of food.
And not a surprise, because we've seen more snow than we have in several winters past. Today, we've got dry conditions, which is pretty nice. We start down in St. George, where we've got some spring fever, folks. 57 with clear skies and plenty of sunshine. But then we jump up to Park City, where we're sitting at 26 degrees. Great shot here of the Swainer Preserve. You can see the snow on the ground, and when you talk snowpack, really healthy percents throughout the state. Provo River Basin sitting at 173% of average. Love to see that. That's where Parley's actually drains into. But throughout the state, very healthy numbers. Eastern Utah, Southwest Desert, 162% of average statewide. We love it. We need this snow and we need this moisture. And as we continue to warm for the next several days, we'll see some start to melt. Temperatures right now, though, cold, especially up there in Cache Valley, sitting in the 20s, 30s in Ogden, just above freezing. 40 in Salt Lake and 50s in St. George. While today's been quiet with plenty of sunshine out there, changes are on the way. Notice them from the Pacific Northwest right now. Our clear conditions, well, they're pleasant, but that's about to change. I've got the timing on increasing cloud cover and snowfall coming up in my full forecast in just a few moments. Glenn, Emily, over to you.
All right, Alana, thank you so much. Communities fighting back against a bill on its way to the governor's desk. Lawmakers voting House Bill 374 through the legislative session to dissolve Unified Police Department.
Kearns, Holiday, and Midvale all speaking out against it, but is there any way to stop it now that it's in motion? ABC4's Annika Jones joining us live in the newsroom. And Annika, tell us a little bit about how this bill would work and how soon it could take effect.
Yeah, that's right, Glenn. HB 374 would remove code currently in place that helped form the Unified Police Force Department. Those in support of the bill say that the old system forced the sheriff of Salt Lake County, who also serves as the sheriff of the Salt Lake Sheriff's Office, to use UPD for countywide services, and in turn took away her policing power, and that this change would return that power to her. However, these opposed to the bill, including many of the cities this directly impacts, says this puts them in a hard situation.
This bill puts our officers and our communities in a 2-year limbo. We are, as much as our board, and I know that myself and our council, we're going to do everything we can to minimize any public safety impacts. The reality is that we are likely going to see them.
If the bill is signed by Governor Cox, it won't go into the Unified Police Department won't be dissolved until July of 2025 to allow time for these communities to create a new system. Kearns Mayor Kelly Bush also stated that her distaste of the bill, saying in a statement that they will continue to fight this and that the game is not over yet. Reporting live from the newsroom, Annika Johns, ABC4 News.
Annika, thank you. In an update tonight, the mother of Brian Laundrie fighting back against allegations in an ongoing lawsuit over her alleged role in Gabby Petito's murder. An attorney for Petito's parents claiming a letter she wrote before Laundrie killed Petito during a cross-country road trip referenced getting a shovel and burying a body. The envelope saying, "Burn after reading." But in a new court filing, Laundrie's mother saying it has nothing to do with Petito. She claims she wrote it before the couple left on that road trip. She says the burn after reading reference is the name of one of their favorite books.
And in Iron County now, new security measures for schools in the district there. A meeting last night with Board of Education members and Cedar City Police discussed the events of February 27th and 28th. That's when police say a Canyon View High School dropout brought a gun on campus and pointed it at 4 students. He came back later that day and allegedly assaulted another. Now, the next day, the school entered lockdown as police worked to bring him into custody. Changes now on the way include keyless entries at all school doors, cutting entryways into schools down to 1, and creating a district safety and security specialist.
Turning to politics now, Senator Mitt Romney teaming up with colleagues on a bipartisan effort targeting TickTock.
Yes, a Republican and Democratic senator introducing the Restrict Act today. The bill would give the president and Secretary of Commerce more authority to regulate TikTok use in the U.S. It expands their power to ban any foreign tech that poses a security risk. And right now, many state and national lawmakers are concerned about threats the Chinese-owned social media app poses.
One thing a lot worse than having our government infringe on our privacy is having the Chinese Communist Party infringe on our privacy and be able to track us and follow us.
The senators say their bill is different from the one House Republicans introduced last week because it doesn't single out TikTok. Opponents of that bill argue it would violate the First Amendment.
That feels like a lot. it's overwhelming.
Still ahead, a crime collection decades in the making. We take you in the Salt Lake City Police Department's evidence warehouse for a rare look. That's coming up in Behind the Badge.
And there's that live look at Blanding, the Four Corners area with some high, thin cirrus clouds. Temperatures warming in the southern portion of the state, but we're staying status quo in the north. Why? I'll answer that question and when to expect snow in Utah's most accurate forecast.